Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about Tesla's appearance in Red Dead 2 and try to analyse it to find out how accurate it is to the real life Nikola Tesla. I'm not going to say that I found this out by myself because I didn't, so below I'll be linking PowerPyx's Artificial Intelligence Trophy video and ZacCoxTV's Red Dead 2 Easter eggs video in which he explains how to find Tesla's robot after the third mission. When you get to chapter 4, you will unlock the area of Saint Denis, where you can go during the daytime to this strangest mission marked on the map. You will find a caricature of Tesla, known in the game as Marko Dragic, who states that he's from the Balkans, while in real life Tesla was born in Serbia in 1856. His nationality was Serbo-Croatian, and he became a naturalized US citizen much later in his life. You will notice that his voice sounds similar to another character in Rockstar games, hinted at as being of Serbian origin.
Ramen? Ramen! Are you sleeping, you fat fuck? Come on!
In the park where you meet him, he is demonstrating a torpedo guidance remote controlled boat known as an automaton to his investors. In real life he demonstrated such a device to shock spectators at the Chicago World's Fair in 1898. One of the investors ironically asks him if the device is intended for military use, to which Marko replies, "No, it's for the betterment of mankind," only for the torpedo guidance system to eventually be used for military purposes, including scalar waves, as well as many of Tesla's other inventions. One not used, however, was the sought-after death ray he claimed he had invented in 1937, able to bring an end to all war by zapping objects in the air with electricity through a small nozzle at the end of the receiver that works by building up kinetic energy through a series of coils similar to a Tesla coil or exactly like it. Marko has wacky, outlandish mannerisms that you would expect from a person characterized as a mad scientist, with a penchant for sharply voicing his disapproval.
You Americans are nothing but shysters and traitors.
Although we can never say for certain, from what people have described of Tesla, he wouldn't have been like this in real life, stating his reserved and polite nature, even though there have been a few cited times where Tesla could be overly harsh and critical, such as when he sent a subordinate home to change a dress or fired a secretary for being overweight. Clothing such as pearls and earrings were also said to send him into a fit of rage, but these traits are to be expected from someone with extreme perfectionist OCD tendencies, the most common manifestation being germophobia and withdrawing from interaction with other people, which Tesla increasingly did throughout his life. His secretary, Dorothy Skerritt, wrote, "His genial smile and nobility of bearing always denoted the gentlemanly characteristics that were so ingrained in his soul." Quotes like these are a far cry from his outspoken portrayal on screen. Here he is antagonized by a character who appears only this once briefly, who is supposed to represent Thomas Edison. Edison and Tesla both hated each other, and at this point were in a heated battle in what was known as the War of the Currents, Edison championing DC and Tesla championing AC, to which Tesla eventually won. The feud started over Tesla not getting paid for fixing one of Edison's dynamos, money that he was promised by Edison. He promptly quit his job at the Edison Machine Works to venture out on his own, where the rivalry began. This character who appears to antagonize Marko is not named. After the demonstration, the spectators' reluctance to fund the project makes Marko angry, leading to his further distrust of American business people, which he finds cretinous and deceitful. This is a common theme throughout Tesla's life of people betraying him, taking advantage of him, and the numerous patent infringements meaning he was never as successful monetarily as he should have been. This is probably why the character's second name is Dragic, because Tesla's life certainly was incredibly sad and tragic. Although Marko's accent is a parody of what Tesla might have sounded like, no one actually knows for sure because despite pictures of him existing, there exists no known audio or video footage of Tesla, apart from a small snippet thought to have been recorded by an actor for the movie Tesla the Master of Lightning.
Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities and can drive the world's machinery without the need of coal, oil, gas, or any other fuel. This new power for the driving of the world's machinery will be derived from the energy which operates the universe, the cosmic energy.
After the end of that mission, you can travel to Marko's power transmission system up in the mountains of Dover Hill. In real life, this transmission system was known as Wardenclyffe, and was centered in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Conceptualized as a worldwide wireless power transmission system, the idea was to pull electromagnetic waves from the ionosphere, a layer above the Earth comprised of electric impulses to transmit electricity wirelessly, to which anyone wanting to extract it for themselves needed only to put a small metal rod into the ground to conduct it. Tesla began construction of Wardenclyffe in 1899, with the laboratory being constructed by Stanford White, only for it to be demolished by 1907 as J.P. Morgan, the financier of the project, pulled funding because there was no way to meter and charge people for using electricity, initially thinking the project was only to transmit radio waves and not electricity itself. He was fed up with Marconi's advances in radio transmission using Tesla's patented technology, and eventually pulled out when he found out Tesla's intentions were non-profit. In the second mission, marked here on the map, Marko holds up what appears to be a receiver in his hand when greeting Arthur Morgan. This could be a reference to when Tesla told the New York Times that he had received signals and messages from aliens on Mars while at Wardenclyffe. So Marko sends Arthur off to implant these electric poles into the ground to conduct electricity from the lightning strikes nearby. Yet again another reference to his experiments with conducting electricity in Colorado Springs by planting 1,000 light bulbs into the ground and lighting up all of them by using the ground's resonant frequency. Once Arthur gets back, he scales the tower and flips electric switches to turn it on. Even though the tower was completed at this stage, it is not known whether it was ever operational. The conclusion is that Tesla most likely never got that far, and it never was able to have any experiments with the transmission of electrical power before funding was pulled. So, then Marko unveils his robot design. Again, Tesla is known as the originator of modern robotics, and at first glance, I thought this robot was a Cyberman from Doctor Who, or a robot from Metropolis, but it's actually based off of the character Boilerplate by Paul Ginnan, a fictional robot interposed in the background of old photos to appear like it belongs to the time period. There was no evidence that Tesla ever actually created a robot like this. For the third mission, you will need to wait 2 days before it appearing by either sleeping at the camp to advance time or doing other activities, and once you arrive at Marko's laboratory, he will be laid down, dead, in a pile of his own blood. It is of course implied that his own robot killed its creator and escaped. In real life, Tesla died in room 43 of the Hotel New Yorker, forgotten, alone and penniless, at the age of 86, after tearing up the Westinghouse contract many years prior in order to save the company from bankruptcy. Even if it meant missing out on billions of dollars he would have been owed for his AC motor invention. Many people who cheated him through patent infringement or monetary reasons ended up being successful. Marconi is one example and Edison is another. Edison died wealthy with a wife and kids. I can see why the character's second name is Dragic. Nothing ever went right for Tesla, nor did anything ever go right for Marko, despite how successful they should have been. Let me know what you think of my analysis in the comments. This is of course not the first time that Tesla's likeness has been featured in a game, the most recent example being the lab scientists working on Sir Galahad's weaponry in steampunk game The Order 1886 in 2016. With the resurgence of Tesla's memory into public knowledge, it is no surprise that he is being featured in more and more media. It's interesting to note that Red Dead 2 is set in 1899, the same year that Tesla travelled to Colorado in order to construct Wardenclyffe.